This Miami Swim Week, I got into everything. Anything I applied to, VIP press. Hello from the floor of my bedroom. So, I am really trying to regularly post vlogs, and I also want to have more transparency and vulnerability online, because I tend to be a person who likes to compartmentalize my feelings and then just post about the good things, when in reality, like, not everyone's life is picture perfect. And yeah, I just want to, I don't know, be open and kind of talk to you guys as like either my little video diary and or whatever. So, exciting news. We'll start with the positive because I like to start with the positive. I am currently preparing to go to Miami Swim Week, and it is my official 1-year anniversary of doing fashion work. Last little backstory, last year I had this cutie, her name is Bianca. She hit me up to do her album cover photo shoot. And so while we were in the studio, I remember I was really in my creative photography set designing like vibe. I finally was getting out of just doing grad shoots and family shoots and things that were just very like clean photos. I finally mastered taking a clean photo and was moving on to something that was a little bit more fulfilling. And so I started getting more artists and more people who just appreciated creativity in the mix of photos. So I was doing content stuff, whatever. While I was in the studio with her, we were having such a fun time. I don't know how all the fashion stuff got brought up, but at one point I remember her being like, yeah, like we just got back from Milan from Fashion Week, things there, or something of those sorts. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, like I'm in the room with the celebrity, like, huh? Like tell me your success and how you got to places like that. And if it wasn't for them just being like, just try, just apply, what are they gonna say? They're gonna say no. And they sent me the link to Miami Swim Week because she's a Miami girly. She's born and raised there, I believe. I know she like lives there and like family's there. So I apply, and then the day before Miami Swim Week starts, I get an invite to everything. And I was like, huh? I was thankfully financially in a good place, and I was able to book a flight and book a hotel within 24 hours and scoop my way down to Miami Swim Week. I think the flight, I'm gonna be fully transparent, the flight was only $80 round trip for me to leave like Tuesday or something, and then it'd be round trip for like a 4-day trip. I couldn't stay the whole time, I remember, because I had a wedding to shoot that weekend. I think I had 2 weddings. It was a crazy week. So I'll get into how that itinerary was. And then my hotel, I don't understand why it's so inexpensive in this one specific place on South Beach, but my hotel was only like $200 for like 4 days, and it was in the direct central part of where I needed to be. It was right across from SLS, which is the hotel that they used to host everything for Miami Swim Week. So I remember checking in and going to one of the events, which was like over the bridge and like Sea Spice, and I remember going to that and whatever. That's besides the point. My itinerary was crazy, so I wasn't able to stay for the shows, which started on the 31st, 1st, or like something like that. I was only able to go for like the 26th, 7th, and 28th, and 29th, and then I came back, then I had a wedding. Something loosely around that. So I literally did Miami Swim Week events for 3 days, flew back, did a whole wedding by myself, and then the next day, on that Saturday, I also had another wedding that I was second shooting that was 10 hours, and it was in Virginia. So, mind you, I'm in North Carolina, and to say the least, if you know, as a photographer, you do a wedding, it is like you have a wedding hangover, because especially shooting it by yourself, you're not drinking enough water, you're like so dehydrated. Like the next day, it feels like you are recovering from like a marathon, or like you got beat up, or like physically it's so draining. And so to do one back to back, plus having that immediately after Miami Swim Week, crazy world. She really was just determined to make things happen, and it all worked out, and things were great, and everything was beautiful, thankfully. So thank God for that. Fast forward. What are we doing? Where are we at? Fast forward to now. It's been one full motherfucking year since I've been in the fashion world, period, because Miami Swim Week was that girl. She was the girl to open up the floodgates for all of my fashion anything, like just access to the fashion world, because I was able to get portfolio photos from one of the shows. And so yeah, I met a lot of my close friends, like Mr. Celebrity Stylist. I met him there, and yeah, everything was in alignment, divinely guided, and all my little hee. So fast forward to now, and I'm in just such a good place. Like, I feel so proud of myself reflecting on this past year, being like, okay, it's my 1 year mark in fashion, and I have done 2 New York Fashion Week runs, and the first one was amazing for everything that I did get into, but the second one also, like, each time just leveling up and getting into more intimate events, making more connections with cool people that just like resonate with me as an artist, and also like we see each other's talent, and we are just like encouraging each other to keep going, and like being in a place with like-minded people who have the same drive and the same ambition, and just putting myself in the right place at the right time to meet the right people that are just my people. And it's been such a beautiful thing to just reflect on, and I am really grateful for the place that I'm at right now, especially mentally, to be able to take the time to sit and be present and like give myself my own flowers and be like, damn girl, like look at how far you've come in just within a year. And that might seem like a really obvious thing, but for me it's really difficult to just either have like self-validation or even just like stop and realize how much I keep accomplishing. A lot of that I like to chalk up to the fact that my goals always keep rising, and so every time I accomplish something, I don't really take the time to marinate and be present in the fact that I just checked off something. I'm just like, okay, on to the next. We're getting bigger, we're going better. And yeah, so I'm doing a better job of that to say the least. So this Miami Swim Week, I got into everything. Anything I applied to, VIP press. Intimate events, like, she's got it. There's obviously some things where I did have a little bit of help with some people, and there are some events that I'm going to that I'm very grateful to have the friendships, the genuine friendships, not just like a we're using each other kind of thing, but the I see value in you and you also see value in me, and it's just like an equal reciprocated nice feeling to be just have created my own little supportive pocket in the industry, just because the industry can be, you know, how the industry can be. And it's genuinely really hard to find people like that. And so I'm grateful to kind of attract those in. And yeah, so I just keep getting emails, and I am just getting really giddy and really excited, because not only is this just a full circle moment for me, but I can really feel it in my bones that this season is going to be life-changing. I can feel it so hard, where I'm going to be in the right room with the right people, and I'm just going to be thriving, and like I love the beach, and I just love being by the water, and it's just gonna, I am feeling so proud. I'm genuinely so proud of myself, and I'm proud of myself that I can even say that I'm proud of myself, because I feel like everything I've been doing the past year, I'm just in like such a good place. And that being said, it does not mean that I've not been going through a lot of bullshit lately. So what I was getting at was the other spectrum of the things and feelings that I've been dealing with. I feel like aside from this recent abundance that I've been receiving, my whole like life, all of April and May, really just feels like someone put everything, like my work, my friendships, my relationships, my everything, family, like everything, into a box and just fucking shook that shit up. And I feel like everything is all over the place, and it's forced me to look within and really tap into like my inner peace and my like faith, and just move forward in different ways and kind of set new foundations for just everything. I kind of wish that everything wouldn't have all happened at once, but you know, that's life. And so biggest thing that has been making me very sad, girl, has just been how a lot of people have really just been exiting out of my life, and for the good, I'm assuming, because that's the only way that I can take it. And it's like, if you are meant to be in my life, you will be in my life, and if you don't want to be in my life, then I guess that's fine. You know, like, I've come to terms with that, and I feel like the more that I'm living my most authentic self and the more that I'm just like coming in to being the woman that I am through everything that I've been through in the past couple of years, I feel like the less friends and people around me I've had. And like, I'm really grateful for it because of the clarity of just having everyone around me that like truly are on the same page as me, whether that's like, I really don't know how to really explain it. I'm really trying to be vulnerable, and it's really hard. I'm also not trying to like shout out people on here and make it like a whole big fucking thing. But how do I talk about it? I think it just made me really sad because obviously I have to grieve it. Not my throat going away. It's been something that I'm personally proud at how I've been handling everything, meaning I'm just letting myself feel the feelings. And for those of you who don't know me personally, I am very much one of those where if I care about you, I care about you 100%. I'm a very passionate person. It kind of makes sense since I'm a creative and an artist. And it's like 0 or 100. So I always tend to pour a lot into the people and the relationships that I have, and I see everyone's like best and like highest potential, and I'm like really I would hope that I come off supportive, and yeah, so these are all things to just add where I think in hindsight a lot of this is giving me clarity on how much I just need to pour into myself and put myself on this pedestal that I have always been putting everyone else on. And for me, it makes me feel selfish, even though I should be, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's been something I've been saying all this year, but I think it genuinely took until right now to get it through my thick ass skull that I just need to be pouring more into myself and more into my art and more into my faith and more into just every ounce of whoever I really want to be as a person. And then I will be able to pour into my friendships and relationships and everything else. And I'm grateful for this clarity, but at the same time, it doesn't make the healing of losing people any motherfucking easier. But I think I've been processing things pretty well. I basically have just been crying because she is a crier. It's just, she just cries. Like, it's okay. The girlies who get it. And again, it comes with being a passionate person. Like Miss Ariana Grande says, I would rather feel everything than nothing at all. And so that comes with the duality of, as much happiness and joy as I feel, I equally very much understand how dark and scary and sad and just like life can get. And feeling those feelings is a lot. And so getting used to, my phone cut off and did a weird thing, so I don't quite remember where I was at, but essentially it's kind of like through this darkness I've really found my inner light. And that sounds so cliche, little artist. I feel like I wrote a poem about this like the other night. But I don't know, I hate feeling sad, and I feel like I genuinely get sad like pretty frequently, and I don't think a lot of people know that, because like it's not anything that I want to put on display. But at the same time, I want to be more transparent about it, because everyone who posts online is always just posting about them being like happy-go-lucky, and it's like a lot of us are dealing with a lot of nuanced situations, so it doesn't matter what level of fame. Like, we're all human, and we're all going probably through some fuck shit, and if we aren't going through some fuck shit in the meantime, we probably have been through some crazy shit. And so like in the end, we really just should, in theory, be there for each other. And yeah, so I think it's taught me that I'm currently just like learning more about myself and about my own boundaries and who I really want to let into my life and how I would like to be treated by people in my life. And I think I'm just having more respect for myself and, like I said, putting myself on that pedestal for the first time and shining in my own self-worth, and not in a way where I'm going to put other people down, but I'm going to remember that my thoughts and feelings matter, and if it doesn't feel like it aligns with me, then I'm just not going to like do the thing and whatever. And it's not in a hurtful way, but it's like I am going to actually speak up for once and actually have a voice for myself. And I just always want to make sure that I openly and fairly communicate with everyone moving forward. And even though I'm a passionate person, I'm trying not to let that be like a huge thing. So yeah, there's a lot more that I've like processed and thought about going through this, but I think that's at least what I can think of off the top of my head. We're moving into here. We had so many financial weird things happen. I really was like jumping through hoops to make sure I had the funds. She gets the funds literally the last day. So that was overwhelming. Then during the week of moving, I end up getting like a health problem. Yeah, I forgot to mention, health is a part of this like box being shaken up. So then I have to go to like urgent care and get this like cyst thing dealt with, and that was miserable, so miserable. And then shortly after that, more people just wanting to like shake up life happened, and that was miserable to deal with. And everything emotionally has been going on. Mind you, I was also on my period, so she's really just the rockiest stage of where she's at. So yeah, then this is the part in the timeline, like after / during all the health things are going on, all of the things and the people just start dropping, and hard conversations are getting brought up between people that I was never expecting things to like happen like that. And then it was just like, okay, we are really not we're in the rockiest place right now. So what can we do? We're just gonna cry it out and just pour love back into ourselves and just pray, move forward, and breathe. And I don't know, dude. Like, it's been pretty dark. I'll be so real. Like, although I may be perceived as this like very happy, hee girly, again, reminder that this inner monologue, she's the main one. So it can get a little dark in there sometimes. So that is why I like to lean more into my art and things, and by proxy, having the guys that I'm living with be really fucking solid and also have gone through some similar situations. Like, I am eternally grateful to kind of have them as just like a sounding board, so I'm not just like pent up in my room crying all the time. Did I do that a while? Yes, I very much do that. And you know, like, it's healthy to cry, and I feel like it's just you just gotta figure out how you release things. And journaling can only do so much for me, and working out and going on walks can only do so much for me. And so, like, I just fully felt like actually relieved once I like was crying and then like looking in the mirror being like, you're a star, I'm a star. And yeah, dude, like, it's okay. Like, what seems really big and like insanely life altering isn't. And like, don't give it power. Like, my peace and my peace of mind is really precious to me. And so yeah, everyone is always still healing. Like, there's no like end goal of that. It's just continue learning, growing, and going through life. And it's just how you take things, dude. Like, people, things flow in and out, and learning to not have like a death grip on that, and learning to let go of control, and just doing your best. Like, none of us are fucking perfect down here. I don't know who made me fucking Salvador Dali, but like I know some of these things might seem either common sense or just like woo to people, but for the people who don't typically like talk to themselves or have affirmations, like, you can, and it's not crazy. So on top of this frustration of like moving, and then relationship things and friendships, and like a lot of that going on, financially, she's in the gutter. Clients are just far and few in between. I don't remember how the phrase actually goes. So I feel like everything was just kind of taken from me, and I don't mean that in like a weird like entitlement way. I just mean that in the literal sense of everything that I thought was my security and that I thought like made my life comfortable literally was taken away. And it's just like it was a lot to have to lean on people more than I typically do, because I don't like feeling like a burden, and I don't like not being independent. I'm an only child, so I'm used to having to do everything on my own. So having to lean on my roommates to cover my meals, having to even just give me groceries. Like, your girl at one point was like eating PB&Js for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and honestly, I'm really not complaining. I'm just being super transparent. And the reason why I just bring up all of this too is to just show how my mindset has been on it, on how I've been able to still keep my peace and my happiness, because, and like in hopes that maybe it will inspire other people who are in maybe like frustrating situations, on how like you do have control of that, and like it truly is just how you flip the perspective in your mind, and plus like a lot of other things. So again, I'm out here like drinking my tea from home, my green tea, and then instead of getting a matcha every day, and eating a PB&J maybe twice a day, and that's like the only fucking food that I have. Maybe I bought a banana for like 10 cents or some shit like that, and then I added the banana to my whatever, and kind of it sounds really emo, but kind of getting used to like being starving. And I'm just being dramatic, but in that time of going through everything at once, I was really fucking dramatic, and I was like, cool, everything's being taken away from me, what's happening? And after I took a good 24 hours to just kind of like digest how overwhelmed I was feeling, I prayed about it, and I talked to my roommates about it, and we really just had this whole moment of like, hey, this is probably like, to me, a way that life is just like, hey, however things have been working, it's not working like that anymore, because you've grown as a person, and you need to lay a new foundation, because the people, the clients, the family, the everything that you had surrounding you doesn't like meet the level that you're at now, and you need to just like refresh and really like reassess, like, what are my boundaries, like how do I want like my relationships to treat me, and how do I want to be treated, and what are my boundaries, and what is my relationship to money, what is my like own security in myself. And honestly, that's what I'm very grateful for with being like in this uncomfortable. I also, PSA interjection, in regards to my clients, I love you guys who I have been working with, and my clients in the past. Something I have been feeling too has just been how I feel like the environment that I'm in North Carolina, I've just outgrown. And I also feel in some kind of sense that the reason why my clients have kind of trickled away, and like client inquiries have become less, is just because I need to shift my focus and or like shift my location. And I've been on this whole like I want to move to New York thing, and I want to move to a bigger city, and I know that sounds like what everyone wants to do, but genuinely, when I am in New York, I feel lighter, I feel accepted, I feel comfortable, all of the things that typically like one would not feel. I feel exhilarated, I feel inspired, I feel like there's copious amounts of opportunities. But to then top it off, for me to have gone to Paris is like another whole feeling in itself, where I see myself having so much untapped potential overseas, and that is also just another beast that I'm kind of fighting, of how do I start shifting things to be, I don't know if it's like location, or like it's just really kind of hard for me to conceptualize and put into words right now, but I do know that my feelings are that I think my client demographic has been shifting as, sorry if you hear that's my dog snoring, that I feel like my client demographic is also shifting with me, and I don't know if that means I have to move, or I don't know how I'm gonna move. It's just a lot of unanswered questions right now, and I don't think I'm supposed to know these answers, so I'm just gonna keep doing little things every day and moving towards what I feel the most aligned with. And that doesn't sound very concrete at all. I understand. Thankfully I'm a type B person. I just kind of go with the flow with things, and I've been praying and listening to my gut and let go and let God. That's all I can say. And leaning into my faith is the more I'm stressed out, so I can have my worries kind of be taken away, so I can think clearer and have a better course of action and a steadier mindset. Well, forehead kisses to the homie. Thanks for being here, and if I don't see you beforehand, I'll see you in Miami.